Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Umineko. I'm actually going to be making this ahead of time, yet again, because I'm going to be a little bit busy this weekend. So, if anyone said anything in the last video, sorry. And I also made a short, just a really relatively short video about my thoughts from the first chapter of Umineko. Someone was a little bit curious about it. And I talk about, you know, what I think as I go through, and that was just kind of like a condensed version. So if you're wanting to hear something new, you probably won't, but I just gave my thoughts on that. And with that said, we can now continue forward in our lovely date where we're not dead. Oh, I didn't even read that. After that, we gathered shells, ran from waves, and enjoyed each other's company while walking along the beach. In the end, the clouds never parted. However, we both believed that our eyes were still reflecting a deep blue sea. Dang it, Shannon. Your fear broke my text box. Whoa, it did just get a whole lot darker. It just got like really dark in like 1 second.
僕もびっくりしてるよ。シャノンちゃんと出会ったのは昨日今日のことじゃない。何年も前から面識もある。でも年に何度もない親族の会合の席で挨拶をするだけ。そんな君とこうして一緒に過ごせる関係になるなんて全然想像できなかったよ。それはシャノンもでしょ。
私はその
Don't hold out, Shannon.
想像だけはしてま
Whoa,
した。
the weather got all blue again.
いえ、その想像というよりはその妄想みたいなもので、いつも紳士的で思いやりのあるジョージ様とご縁があったらなってその妄想してただけで。
じゃあ僕たちの縁は君のその信じた心のおかげだね。
So is the cloudy weather supposed to reflect what it actually looks like outside, while the blue skies reflect how they're feeling in their hearts or something?
思う力には魔法が宿るんだよ。だからその魔法がきっと僕らを巡り合わせてくれた。
Now here's something else that I just noted. In the original route, George never said a single thing about magic, really, other than maybe like conversing about something with Maria. And yet, twice in this route, they've referenced magic. First off, Shannon was talking about how girls' stomachs are like magical or something like that. I can't even remember. And now he's talking about magic here. And see, that's making me a little unnerved. Like, is this another delusion? This whole date that they're on?
そうですね。多分きっとそれは本当に魔法だったんだと思います。
でもね、そんなことはないんだよ。僕の中でも毎年出会うたびに美しく見違えていった君の存在はとても大きくなっていた。そして君にとっての僕も同じ今日ここに僕らがあることは必然の結果であって魔法や奇跡なんかじゃないのさ。
奇跡はあったんです、ジョージ様。
She stopped walking on the beach, gazing beyond the sea.
奇跡？
魔法あったんです。
I was bewildered by that slightly mysterious expression, which I sometimes heard her use.
魔法が？
はい、魔法です。言っても信じてくれないでしょうから言いません。でも確かにその魔法には私とジョージ様を巡り合わせてくれる
And even and now she's referencing miracles, which definitely is making me more and more nervous that this in fact might be a delusion created by Beatrice because he believed in the witch. Maybe there's nothing to it. There might legitimately be nothing to it, but it's making me very nervous.
それは何かのおまじないのこと？
そうですね。そういうものの類かもしれません。一つ違うのはおまじないなんかじゃなく、本当の魔法。
Shannon wasn't the only one who'd want to credit an encounter on a miracle or serendipity. It might be a universal thing that all girls share. For a man like me, 70% of an encounter with a girl is an endeavor to try and please her, while 20% of it is raw courage. And the remaining 10% is luck. What she chooses to believe weighs little in my thoughts. Maybe that way of thinking is, in itself, calculating and typical of men. But were I to express that in words, any kind of magic would be broken. Yet again, with the breaking of magic, this whole thing is really freaking me out. I thought that before we had entered into this relationship, we both had many fortitudes? Fortitudes? What's that word? Hold on. Okay, fortitudes is plural of fortitui, which is the state of being controlled by chance rather than design. Okay. It makes sense now, just the plural kind of threw me off a bit. Concessions and great efforts. After all that, if she wants to call these times together magic, that isn't strange in the slightest. That's why I answered her the way I did.
そうだね。同じ運命を100回繰り返したら、僕と君がこういう関係になる結果は一度しか起こらないものだったかもしれないね。互いを意識し合いながらも、僕たちは他人行儀な関係を今も続けていたかもしれない。そんなよその世界の僕らから見れば、今の僕たちはまさに奇跡のような関係に違いないだろうから。
そういうのじゃなくて、本当に魔法なんです。男の方にいくら言ってもこういうのは信じてもらえないんでしょうか。カノン君も全然信じてくれませんし。
信じるよ。僕が信じなくて魔法が解けたら嫌だからね。
ジョージ様。
In a small voice, I apologize for making light of her magic. Those words seemed to make Shannon a lot happier. After all, if a pair of people believes in the magic of love, it becomes eternal.
そうそう。僕からわがままが一つあるんだけど、聞いてもらえないかな。
はい？何でしょうか？
そのジョージ様って呼び方、嫌いじゃないけど、もうなしにしないかい？もちろん後ろ宮家では対面もあるだろうから、六軒島での普段まで強制はしないよ。でも二人きりの時はなしにしよう。うん、そういうルールにしよ
う。ルールですか？もし破ったらどうなるんでしょう？
そうだね。ルール違反には何か罰ゲームがないといけないかもしれないね。そうだな。何がいいかな。聞きたい？い
え、聞きたくは。
No, I don't want to hear.
何がいいか、僕も考えておくことにするよ。
はい、ジョージさん。
うん、素敵な響きだね。嬉しいよ、シャノン。
私もサヨという名前があります。
そっか。ルールはフェアじゃないといけないね。僕もそれを守って今から君のことをサヨと呼ぶことにするよ。いいね、サヨ。
はい。
I embraced her shoulder. Then, I forcefully embraced her entire body, while she dived into my chest like a doll. As I held her head in my arms, we looked at the horizon.
真っ青な海だね。この海を二人で見られてとても嬉しいよ。
私もです。この真っ青な海をあなたと二人で見ることができてとても嬉しいです。
As we gazed at the gray sea and a light rain began to sprinkle down, we kept listening to each other's heartbeats. The sound of waves soaked into my ears. No, this was the sound of enraged waves. My body, bathed in painfully cold splashes, did not allow me to forget. It wouldn't let me forget the memories of the day when my old fate was broken and smashed. In the past, tomorrows were literally like a mirror to me. The person I am now was always projected there. It was a tomorrow absolutely no different from today. That was my old fate. But at that moment, for the first time, I saw a different fate beyond the mirror. The witch whispers. She tempts me to take a bite out of the fruit of knowledge. She torments me, saying that as long as I stay in the paradise of God, I'll remain furniture. So I try to choose to know love and become a person. Those days were like sweetly melting honey. But then, I hadn't realized that they were the beginning of the days filled with a new kind of suffering. I came to the small island on a motorboat that I had just learned how to use. No, I couldn't possibly call it a small island. It'd really be more appropriate to call it a reef. On the reef, there was a torii and a small shrine for the local deity. It was probably built to worship the guardian deity of Rokenjima. Even though I didn't know the exact meaning, I understood that it had a holy significance. Even in a place like this, I took just one more look around to see if there was someone who'd find fault with me being here. The only things I could see were the stormy ocean, Nijima looming in the distance, and the waves breaking against Rokenjima's steep cliffside. I readied myself, timidly approached the small shrine, and took the mirror that was offered to that place. It was an old-looking mirror, dim and dirty. If it were an ordinary mirror, that'd probably give you a terribly bad impression of its value. However, since the mirror had been offered to this small shrine, it made you feel some kind of divinity. And I noticed, this was not merely a mirror. Merely a mirror. Oh god, the puns, please stop. Even if it would have been nothing more than an old-looking mirror to a non-believer like myself, it was actually a mirror that had an important meaning. Is it really alright to break it after being captivated by honeyed words? No, this is not really a mirror. This is my life that I could not escape until today, and my fate. I'll break it. I'll break it, and seize a life from beyond the mirror. If I don't break it, my life will be forever a pair of facing mirrors. Nothing will ever change in the slightest. The witch whispers. She tempts me to take a bite of true wisdom. Maybe I'm already having a taste of that truth, because I ended up knowing those maddening sentiments. Just as Adam and Eve felt compelled to plug the fig leaf. By now, I must break this mirror. Until today, I had fought for many days. Inside my heart, the virtuous part of me and the part that sided with the witch repeatedly fought each other. And now, here I am. Did the part of me who is here win or lose? There's only one thing I know. To obtain something, you must be ready to lose something. The cowards who don't risk loss and never try to change anything will never receive the key that opens the path to a new fortune. Future. The key is already in my hands. The key is to break this. to break it. Is there any other effort I can make as furniture imprisoned in Rokenjima? No. There's nothing but this. Come, have courage. I'll free myself from being mere furniture. And I'll receive new sufferings and become human. These are surely the small and large trials I must impose on myself. Come on, break it. Break the eternally unchangeable fate that imprisons me into pieces. I raise the mirror high and think back on the preceding days of conflict. And, finishing my reflections in the blink of an eye, I throw it. The thunder roars, crying out against me for my outrageous act. Certainly, that was the hatred of the angels who were trying to banish me from eternal paradise. I look down on the mirror tumbling at my feet, broken into 2 equal parts. And, after I make sure I've accomplished my task, I scream while looking up at the enraged sky. I felt like it had to be Shannon. I kinda knew it. She kept saying the furniture thing, and we just talked about Shannon. A thunder roars once more. I'm already banished from paradise. That's why I have to struggle by myself in order to live. The witch said it. That's the sole element of the world. To lose it means to lose the world. Like how a canteen with a hole in the bottom can't be filled, no matter how much water you pump into it. Okay, so I have a quick question to you guys. When I was setting up all of the stuff for this, quite a while ago, I was told, I think one of the things was to take the same intro video and copy it multiple times, which is why we saw the same one. Now, is that correct? Should I in fact have the same that same intro video playing again, or should I have something else? And if so, I don't know. I guess let me know. I'm just a little curious about that. I mean, the intro video is cool, and it definitely seems like it has elements from this. Like, I saw an aquarium in there, and there's a whole lot of scenes in there that obviously weren't from the first section. So if it doesn't matter, then, let me know. But otherwise, just let me know. I'm kind of curious. But anyway, let's continue. My mind wandered. Back to the days when I could barely imagine the happiness I have today. I was a middle schooler at the time. A normal girl who imagined about love, as is normal at that age. But I really should have not seen that dream. Because I am furniture. Furniture is nothing more than a tool, and is not human. To a person less than human, such as myself, just receiving my education was more than enough to make me happy. So, even thinking about love was more than I deserved. The Urshiramiya Family Conference was a customary event held every October, but relatives sometimes visited at other times. Of course, they didn't just come to drink tea. On this day, Eva's family had visited the head family on Rokenjima. The 3 people from Cross's family and the 3 people from Eva's family had gathered in the parlor, and were having a friendly chat as they reported the news. Genji had supposedly told Kinzo of Eva's family arrival, but he hadn't come down yet. He was probably immersed in his own research, and couldn't spare the time. This often happened, so the others waited patiently for their fickle father to come down. Whole. Yes, we're back whole.
それは頼もしいじゃないか。お父さんのところでたくさん勉強して、早く手助けができるよう頑張りたまえ。
ありがとうございます。今は父の紹介で、たくさんの人生の先輩方に、本当に貴重な勉強をさせていただいています。そのいずれも、学校では学べないことばかりです。
学校で習うのは国語算数やない。ものを学ぶ姿勢と態度を学ぶんや。その基礎ができて、ようやく生涯をかけた勉強が始まるんやで。ここをな、勘違いしとるやつは、生涯学べん石頭や。国語算数で満点取れても、会社じゃ役に立たへん。
秀吉さんの教育方針はいつも本当にご立派ですな。
ジョージもまだまだ半人前や。それを常に忘れんで、勉強に励むんやで。
よしなさいよ、あなた。ジョージはいっつも一生懸命頑張ってるわよ。ねえ。
本当に立派ね。うちのジェシカにも爪の赤を分けてもらいたいわ。
まだテストの結果を根に持ってるのかよ。受験勉強は私なりにやってるって。こんな席でまで言うことはねえだろうよ。うぜえぜ。
When praising George for his diligence, the conversation sometimes turned to Jessica, who hated studying. Jessica made an openly displeased face, as though she'd known it would come to this.
やれやれ。ジェシカは勉強と一緒に少しはおしとやかな言葉遣いも学ぶ必要があるんじゃないか。
Everyone else loves her. Why can't you take it?
後ろ宮家の家紋を背負う一人娘がそれではみっともないな。
あら、これはこれで魅力的よねえ。時代は変わるのよ。男に食わしてもらうために定宿を装わなくてはならなかった時代はとっくに終わってるんだから。
そうそう。やっぱエヴァおばさんは分かってますね。
はあ、今日は頭痛が特にこたえます。
大丈夫ですか？夏日おばさん、顔色が優れないみたいです。
ありがとう。大丈夫です。でも本当に月日が経つのは早いものね。半ズボン姿で浜辺を駆け巡ってずぶ濡れになって帰ってきた日がついこの間のように思います。
それはジェシカちゃんも同じよね。今じゃお化粧の仕方にだってこだわるレディーなんだから。眉にこだわりがあるのね。今日のあなたとってもキュートよ。
ありがとうございます。誰も気づいてくれなかったんで自信なくしてたとこです。
A full smile rose to Jessica's face, as the results of her own studies were finally noticed. Eva smiled back in the same way. Then, she turned that smile towards Natsui.
ダメよ、夏日姉さん。 自分のこの小さな変化にも気づかなくちゃ。かわいそうなジェシカちゃん。一番最初にお母さんに気づいてもらいたかったでしょうに。ねえ。
いいんです、いいんです。あの人、そういうの全然気づかない人なんで。
ジェシカ、母親をあの人呼ばわりとは感心できんね。謝りなさい。
I mean, you don't have to admire it, but it definitely happened.
言葉遣いについては後でよく言って聞かせます。
ちぇ、お子様は邪魔だってんならそう言ってくれよ。私は席を外させてもらうぜ。ここは空気がよどんでるぜ。
ジェシカ。
Wow. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to leave it. We'll leave it there. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about that first section. My thoughts are, it definitely seems like, compared with that second section of Shannon breaking that mirror, and she kept talking about having dreams and stuff, I have a feeling that somehow, and they kept referencing things that they were talking about, like, you know, if you don't believe in magic, it breaks. They kept referencing all that stuff. It definitely makes me think that it's somehow magic or a dream that's what that was, and that it wasn't actually real. And we saw the real Shannon breaking that mirror. This might be a flashback. I'm not sure. Honestly, you know, I'm only working with what I know. But it's definitely interesting to see all of that stuff come back from the last chapter. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more Umineko. Bye!